Hi, this is Personal SEO Teaches how to add listings to a Divi website, why to and why it's beneficial to your SEO rather than just letting your MLS solution do all the work for you. So we all know in search engine optimization that Google likes original content. And for example, here is Mitzi Cameron's listing. She's a client of ours. It's a brand new listing. And so here's all the information that she puts in the multiple listing service. And then you can look on, for example, Rocket. It's the same exact information. They may include walk scores and all of that, but that's all the same information, and it kind of gets duplicate. So what Google is looking for is original information. So after I add this information, I'm going to email Mitzi back and saying, hey, now give me some information that you didn't put anywhere else, because that's more beneficial to her website and her ranking, because she is going to have information that nobody else has. I'm not saying really withhold a lot of information, but I am saying if you can get away with holding some, so that your content is the only piece of content that has some specific information on it, that would be great. Maybe some different pictures, maybe an extra paragraph under remarks, since you can do as much as you want on your own website, stuff like that. Videos, YouTube videos, all of that should be on your website, and not all of it can fit on your MLS. Your MLS may not take it all. So it allows you to give more information than this because you have your own custom website, or we do the website for you. So in this example, we're going to use a Divi pre-made layout, and the reason for that is because real estate climate currently, that by the time I get this up, this house is sold. So there does have to be a fast turnaround, and using a listing page, a layout would be great. It speeds up the entire process. So I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to use insert layout, and we'll just adjust the items going along. And there are going to be some tips and tricks that I am going to tell you to do to make this go faster. So one of those tips and tricks while that's loading is that, one, if you're an agent, you have all of these images, so it makes it a lot easier for you to upload these images onto your website. Since I'm not an agent, I cannot get these images, and since she didn't email them to me, I have to pull them off another way. The problem with pulling off the images, for example, right-clicking and hitting Save Image As, is that a lot of them turn to getmedia.jfif, which is a web standard of JPEG. I actually want the JPEGs, so I had to do a Google search and then find one of her competitors' websites that have the same exact pictures. Again, they're pulling all the same information. I just need the pictures differently, and I found that Rocket Homes allows me to pull the pictures off fairly quickly. So I'm going to use this account to pull off the images. And again, it doesn't matter what account you use, as long as when you click on 36 photos and right click and save image as, and it has .jpeg, that's really what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to save a few real quick. Again, that's loading in the background. I'm not going to have you watch me do this 39 times, but know that I will save all of the images and downloads, just to make life a little faster and easier for me in the future. So she has a good outside shot of the sunset. So, and I'm for the hero image, I'm trying to pull images off. And like I said before, I will go in, here it is, and grab the images all of the way. And it's okay that the NWMLS logo is there. That's fine with me. She belongs to that multiple listing service. Okay, so I grabbed some photos, and then this is now loading in the background, and this is the back end of Divi. And so once I load in a template, and again, real quick to load in a template, let me hit publish, and I will go to a new page. So I just wanted to save this. Is that under featured properties, under the post section of WordPress, I created a category called featured homes for sale, which is just going to be her listings for sale, and it's not going to pull anything from the multiple listing service. And then I added the street address, the location, and then homes for sale as a key phrase. So that's the major thing to know. If we were doing a new post, the very first thing that I would do is I would title this the address and then add homes for sale or home for sale. The thing to do is I choose no sidebar because the site doesn't have a sidebar, and then I make sure I check the featured homes for sale box. Then I would click on Divi Builder, and I'm just doing this to catch you up to where I have already gotten. This is going to pop up, and I'm going to choose Browse Pre-Made Layout. And then I think I typed in listing, and then clicked on this, and then hit use this layout. Simple. You can make your own layout and then save it that way. This is the first one I'm doing, and that's kind of the style that matches her site. So that's a great way to do it. Okay, so now that that's closed, so here's everything that I've done. I added the address, added home for sale, put it in the categories, made sure it says no sidebar, and then the last thing that you could do fairly quickly is that you could scroll down and then go to Yoast and type in that and hit enter, and then kind of start from there. That's it. So the key phrase is there. It's already orange. There's no content on the page, or all the content on the page is not the content that we're going to use. So SEO will start working the moment we start editing. So if you are comfortable with editing this way, then you would click on each gear and then change the information again from the multiple listing service. I would always like to use what the agent provides, and a link from the multiple listing service will have the most accurate account. So then again, I'll just highlight this, and then that's changed. And again, you can just keep on clicking, selecting the gears and changing everything, or you can hit update because I changed one item. Or what I tend to like to do is click on build on front end. And now it's going to show you the visual builder of Divi, where you can move and adjust things around. A lot of the things that I don't like about just this, for example, this template, I'm just going to delete and kill, but this seems to right away seems to be everything that I want it to do. So and then I added this. I don't want by TMNF, so that's something that I will remove later. So this was the title. This is the first box. It's for sale. Obviously, I'm going to change that to sold once it's sold. The price, you can just, sometimes you click. If you can't click and edit, just click the gear and then it will pop up. And then go ahead and type in the address. And I'm just looking at another screen. There's really no point to show you the whole entire thing. I'm not going to go through the whole entire process. I'm just trying to get a general idea. So 2 beds, 2.5 baths, 2,008 square feet. And then I'm going to change this one to 2004. And then they're built. And again, I'm just copying what's right here. Okay, that's done. Okay, this information I'm going to change. This is the picture of the home. So again, just click on it, click on the image, and then upload files. You've done this a billion times. So I'm going to do that picture, and I'm just randomly selecting a picture and then choosing upload image, and then here is the image. So this section down here, I'm going to copy directly from the multiple listing service. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I hit text on this side because I don't want to copy any of the weird styling. I don't want it to all be bold. I just want it to sit pretty nicely like this. That's the contact information, a status for sale, estimated monthly payment. That is something you can get rid of, which would be what I would do. I would get rid of that, and then I would type in lot footage. Oops, that is the wrong lot footage. Okay, I'm going to hit pause on this video just to save some time and start editing all of this. I think you kind of get the idea. I'm just hitting edit here, changing the price. I'm actually doing it in code. You can do it the other way around if you want. If I'm doing it in code, then I'm going to keep the same consistent look and feel. I'm going to pause this and continue to fill the rest of this out. Okay, so I've gone through and changed some items. I wanted to match the color at the top with the rest of the site. This beige color doesn't kind of work with her current color scheme. We're going to go over real quick how to change the color on each of these items. I'll just show you one and then put the video back on hold. So you see that this is an H6. So if you click over on design in Divi and go to heading and then click on H6, you'll see the color and then just paste in the new color. And I got that color by scrolling up to the top in Firefox, clicking on the 3 lines, going to Web Developer, and then choosing Eyedropper, and then just hovering over a color that I want to keep, and then selecting it. And now that that's copied, I could do this again, and I have to do this per every single one. Unfortunately, this is how themes work, sometimes inside of Divi. So I will do this and then come back. Okay, so another tip and trick that I did is that right here there was a Google map, and I've always had issues with pins in Google Map, and I just thought, hey, why don't I just grab this information from the multiple listing service that actually would seem to work a little bit better to see where the information is at. Yes, you could pull this in from My Home Finder or anywhere else, but I just thought I'd give this a try this time. So in this section right here, you will normally see just a blank area. Click on the gear. Erase what's there. So I'll do this again. So let me copy my code. So you would just erase what's here. Just hit the delete button or the garbage can, and then click on that, and then type in code, or just click on code right here. And then you would paste this in. So since on this website, and what we do on most of our clients' websites is we continually duplicate the same thing over and over again for a consistent look, and it just kind of speeds things up. It's faster to actually just replace the items than it is to do everything from scratch over and over again. In the future, this is set, so the only thing that you would have to do is replace this with the new one, and then that's it. So yeah, so this should just give everyone a kind of general idea of where the property is. And it's fully functional and loads in pretty quickly because it's on the multiple listing service. The next item is the gallery item, and you could do this multiple ways. This one appears to be each image individually, which I don't tend to like, and the reason being is that it doesn't do Lightbox, doesn't pull anything up. So normally in this case, what I would do is I would delete the rows entirely, and on the last row I would change the columns to 1, and then I would follow up by deleting the rest of the image. And you can kind of do that either way, just whatever is more convenient for you. Just get to this point and then click on the plus symbol. Then you're gonna insert a gallery. They just seem to work a little bit better. And then we can adjust the way the gallery looks. So we're going to add images to the gallery. We're going to go to upload files, and then I'm going to add all of the images that I have already selected. And again, I'll add the rest of them. This will go, and yes, I see that there's a duplicate there. That's fine. If you have a lot of, if you don't have a lot of server space, then you can delete the duplicate. So there are the images, and they kind of load this way, which is the way that I don't like. So I choose random image count. I tend to drop it to 3 because the images will get larger. Elements, I'll show the page nation, I'll remove the title, and then the layout I will switch to, you could switch this to slider or grid. Images per row, 3. So you can kind of adjust this entire section as well. So play with the images until you like them and then go from there. So I don't just want to show 3 images
images count. So we're going to say there are 40, so I'm just going to say 40 images.
and then that kind of lays that out a little bit better. We already said no to pagination, design, layout grid, images per row, and then you can just adjust every single one of these. Fill, cover, actual size. You don't want to do actual size, maybe cover. If you're not getting anything that you want, then just kind of leave it. The image row of spacing, you could decrease the space. And you notice that nothing is happening, which is a little frustrating that I found with Divi, that you can make a bunch of changes with this and then nothing is going to, you're not going to see it. You actually have to do it live. So I'm going to increase this to 90-ish. Overlay, this is the icon overlay. You can keep that if you want. Image, you can round the corners of the images. So the rest is normal, just kind of Divi stuff. Pagination text, I tend to want to darken that just so that they could see there's another page. I didn't do all 40, but then now I'm going to, now it is saved. I'll hit save again just to be sure. And then you can just view this live. So this is out of the Divi editor. Here is the listing. And then here are the images. That's kind of the way I want them displayed. I'll work on the spacing in between them. To do that, you would just go back here and then go to design, image, layout, row spacing, area height. So I'd increase the area height, but just by 1%, and then hit save. Go back over to the other tab and then hit refresh. Just trying to bump in a little bit of space in between the images. Well, that didn't work. It actually, the area height of the image is 1%. So what I'm going to do is go back and then design, layout, and then I will remove this 1%. And you could do that by just hitting the refresh. The row spacing, maybe that's it. I'll increase that to that. Again, I just want a little bit of space. I don't want a ton. Save, and then refresh. And that this is something that you'll play with. There you go. I like that a little bit better. I just like the spacing. It's a little too much for me, but you know, it's fine. And then that's the way that it looks. It actually pulls in. You know, this is a lot more functional. Obviously, it's missing the 40 other images, but I tend to like this layout. You can do a slideshow on top of it, but if you load too many pictures, then you kind of have that issue. The rest is a CTA. So just change this information with the agent's information, and then I always tend to turn comments off on a post, and the reason being is I want them to contact the agent directly. So I'll change this real quick, and I'm going to replace the background image with an image of the actual listing, because you're supposed to, why not? And then change this information, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done some editing and some changing, and this is what we have come up with. So this is the first template of the page. It takes about 30 minutes to create the very first one. Again, I have to remove the author link, but then there's Mitzi's information's right here. We can make this a slider or just have one cool picture here. I copied the information from the multiple listing service. I filled out this section. We've embedded the map from the MLS. And then we've added some pictures for the gallery. There's some more to be added. Last thing that we've done is we've changed this to be a picture of the home and changed all of the contact information. Now, there's issues that I don't like about this, and for some reason, every time I type her name, I hold on to the shift key a little bit longer than I should. Is that the spacing seems really weird, like it's not using the full width of the entire page, and this is kind of an easy fix. So what we do is we go ahead and hit save, just because I don't want to lose any information. And so since there is a bunch of space on the left and the right, and this seems to be just off a little bit, go back into the top here and click Edit Post. And Divi's kind of weird in the fact that if you say no sidebar and then you enable the builder, then magically the full width option appears only after the builder has been enabled. So it's kind of a pain. So we're going to hit Update. Okay, and then now we're going to view the site. And this should fill out a little bit more. If not, this will at least give us the opportunity to go ahead and change the space and width option in between. So yes, this looks a lot better. I like the full width. It's very clear. It just comes together just a little bit more. We need to add a featured image, which would show right there. So I like this a little bit more. This is still a little out of control with the letter spacing, but that's really fixable by just clicking on Visual Builder and let it load. And then load. And when it's done loading, you could scroll down and then hover over this section right here, click on the gear. Again, you're looking at an 8.2. This doesn't tell you anything, so clicking on the text is actually an easy way to do it. Then click on Design, Heading Text, H2, and then just lower the font size. I tend to want to whatever you like, 45. That will automatically shrink the picture and do a bunch of other things too to make it look good. If you want it on one line, just keep shrinking it, but that's going to get really small. So I thought 45 would be great. And then again, you can adjust this per device size as well. That's it. That's pretty simple. So in the future, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use this exact layout over and over again when she has new listings. Other items that I would probably add that I just didn't want to go over today is that if you look at the multiple listing service, there are a bunch of other information. This more than likely what I'll do is just copy and paste and put in there, because all this information is on the listing and it should be on this page. And then again, it's going back to Mitzi and saying, give me some information that isn't on the multiple listing service so that you can have some original content. Thank you for watching. This is Personal SEO teaches how to add your own listings to your Divi website using the Divi Builder and using a Divi pre-made layout. And thank you for watching and have a good day.